Hello everyone, welcome to the Season 3 Division 2 mid-season review. So joined by me today will be the usual crew on commentary. We have Duck, Kasumi and Lollipop. So yeah, so before we go into the review, just have a quick look at the updated roster as of now, because I believe there have been some new additions from the transfer window, and I think the latest one being Panda joining Crazy Gang under Roy Keane. And yeah, there have been a lot of quite rather significant changes in the roster compared to the start of the season. You've seen players like Liam leaving Violent Kingdom. You've seen I think Pasu, Raspadori, K-Truck B apparently from what I heard is retiring from Hexball. That's why he's left the club. And yeah, Paul as well, Teddy, and Mirage of course having serving the league band. And yeah, so this is just the current review. I think I'm not sure what other transfers are gonna happen, but from what I heard, there has been some talks about Vecino from Gamba Osaka, Dumbis from Red Drum, and also maybe De Gea from Royal Academy. I'm not sure what's gonna happen from these teams, but we'll see how it goes. So this is the roster, and let's look at the current standing. So the current standing we have is Gamba Osaka in first position, Royal Academy in second, followed by Red Drum, Chanel, Violent Kingdom, and Crazy Gang. So you're just looking at these standings alone, you can see actually there's a very distinct separation between the top three and the bottom three. So the top three are pretty squeezed, pretty close at the top, 12, 11, and 10 points respectively. Chanel, Violent Kingdom, and Crazy Gang 5, 4, and 3 at the bottom. So, and yeah, this is we're going to quickly compare this to our initial predictions. So this is how it looks like in our very first prediction in the preseason. So I think the biggest surprise here is Gamba Osaka being at the top, and I think the top three is pretty much top three is pretty much the same, because we're going to just have Gamba Osaka in first, then Royal Academy in second, and Red Drum actually I guess they underperformed quite a bit and they just ended up in third place. So it's just like a direct switch, a complete opposite of most of our predictions here. And actually the one that's closest, I think Lollipop has the closest prediction here. Chanel, Violent Kingdom, and Crazy Gang, the exact, the correct position as he predicted. So right, and can also now look at the stats now. So the stats now, for goals, we have Rolly and Softy tied in first position at 8 goals each. And actually Rolly is going to be edging Softy out just because of the minute per goal ratio. And for assists, Sibo is currently leading the pack, and Nuo of course is now having the highest clean sheet, and actually it's a very close competition. So Dioza, Namhai 2, and Wanon with Mitsuki at just 2.5 and 2 clean sheets. It's very, very close, and this clean sheet race is going to be quite interesting. And yeah, right, so this is all for the preliminary review of how it looks like after the 6th round. So we already have 6 out of 10 rounds being played, and this is where the teams are at now. And yeah, so we will now quickly jump into our mid-season review of all the six teams, and I think we'll start from the lowest standing to the highest. So first up will be Crazy Gang.
Oh, what's up?
Yep.
Wow, Crazy Gang, my mother club. Amazing. So let's see what we're happening here. So I think for every team, we'll just talk about what are some of the common advantages or disadvantages that the teams have, or like the strengths and weaknesses. And for Crazy Gang, actually, I think this is quite obvious that the anchor of the team is Roy Keane, and you can see, especially from this clip, and Roy Keane has been doing a lot of defensive jobs in terms of pressures, like when to commit and when not to commit. For example, we will just wait for the replay, and you can see Roy Keane just two passes before the goal did not actually commit, but rather they just stick to George. I think that is, yeah, he did not actually commit, but he sticks to George, and George made the mistake, and that will be a goal. And maybe the next clip will be something very similar, and it is this time he commits, and that will be a simple goal for Roy Keane. So I think overall, I think Roy Keane has been very dominant for Crazy Game, but I think shit also happens. Like sometimes Roy Keane has been pressuring at some of inappropriate times. For example, for the next clip, and yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah. Uh, yeah, should be this one. Is it? Oh, not this one yet. Ah, yeah, this one. Yeah, we'll just replay and see what happens. And so Redrum doing the usual works, and did not actually pass at the first time, and eventually gets did not get the ball out, and that cost them a goal. I think the clip there was some error from my clip, but anyway, Roy Keane did not do his job in making the clearance, and this should be the second clip. And again, the commitment here was actually not the most desirable, and the passing line is not actually blocked by his movement. So, for example, just watch again. He just rushed out on his own path, but did not actually look into how Rolling moves. I think this is his play style to try to cover the space and pressurize or commit when he wants, but sometimes it didn't happen, and I think this translates to a goal, is it? I forgot, but anyway, we'll just move to the next one. Let's see. Oh, it is about Deus, and I think he's actually a very good player. And yeah, as compared to other goalkeepers, I think playing with Deus will give you some sort of confidence or safety. Because Deus is always asking for the ball, and always, I think we can look into how he tries to make turns every time he receives the ball, but did not actually just spam it into the front for a clearance. Like sometimes he will just cover the space and take the ball slowly, and then yeah, this should be a mistake by him. I did not pass it the first time, but I think in general he did very well for as a goalkeeping position. And I think there should be one more instance. Yeah, let me recall what this one is happening first. Yeah, nice positioning right there, and he's always asking for the ball to make passes. Like you don't expect that much from a Division 2 team, but Dilsa has been very dominant in terms of getting possession from the back and making the passes with Roy Keane in order to organize. I think this is very different from the other teams, except Redrum, who has been very dominant in terms of making plays from the back. But yeah, this is something that is a strength of Crazy Gang. But then it depends on how their forward are doing the job at the front. For example, Coutinho has not been up to the expectation for the team. Like they are just making some unusual mistakes. For example, what Coutinho doing here is to move central, but and then there will be another like Bentler movement who tries to block the goal. So I think the backs are okay, but the fronts, the forwards did not actually live up to the job. And I think we can move to the next one, Coutinho. Another one should be about his movements. Like this one, yeah. Misses a simple pass to the back, which translates to the possession loss, and then look at his defensive position, and then just this and not that technical wall bounce, and that actually causes 2 instances of change of possession for Crazy Gang. So eventually, I think this is some of the weaknesses of the Crazy Gang in terms of attack. But to be honest, they do not actually lack attacking players, which is what I would like to introduce in the next section about Muffin. This is another clip by Coutinho, which just misses a simple pass. But yeah, the first pass was very aggressive, and then the second one with so much space just missed a simple pass, and that will be a 2 versus 2 shooting chance for the team. But again, misses the passes, and they, as I mentioned, they do not actually lack attacking players. They do have a very, very good player, Muffin, but he's not playing that much. So let's see some of the best moves from Muffin. Bye bye, Cyber. It's a very, very good number. Send him back to Australia. sorry, Cyber. Yeah, but yeah, we can move on to the next one, because he's like the showmaker for this team in organizing the attacks. And this one is more like, let me check. Doing some tricks, and let's see what happens for this one. Oh, I remember. I think that's a very, very good goal by Muffin. Far post, AC. They have been the attacking outlets. I'm not quite sure how many goals Muffin scored for the team, but it seems that every time Crazy Gang scores, it is more likely Muffin's effort. And we can move on to the next one after this. So Muffin made a good movement and far post. So he has the intention to get down, because he understands that Killian will just get the body balance out of Caramel and just made a good pass to center, and his shooting is very, very good. And this one, let's see what's happening. At a defensive possession, a very, very simple body feint, and there will be a 2 versus 1. And unluckily, Killian didn't convert it at the first time, but yeah, you can see his quality in playing against D2 teams, and that simple body feint will be creating very easy to goal chances that they didn't actually convert. So I think overall, Crazy Gang has been doing some quite good job at the defensive works, but at the attacking works, some players did not actually live up to the expectations. Unless they do play Muffin, and they do anchor Muffin at the attacking position. So I would say they do still have chance to play some very, very good attacking and defensive football. And as compared to the other teams, I think they do have the potential to make more possession from the back, and to progress the game at a very, very interesting way as compared to other teams, which could be playing more and more direct. So overall,
Yeah.
I hope that my mother team will be doing better at the second half of the season.
Definitely.
How do you think? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and they signed Panda, another good player.
Oh, really, really? Okay.
Yeah, so another
So I think,
addition to the
yeah,
squad.
they do realize their problems in attack, and I think they are trying to solve it, which is something very good. But it depends on how things work out. But I think we are optimistic about Crazy Gang's position in the second half
Yeah, I
of
think yeah, I think that you hit the nail in the coffin with um the the back two being strong and then the front two being the problem.
yeah,
Yeah,
Dill's playing in your team last season. I think he actually makes some very, very good movements in providing assistance to Roy
yeah,
Keane.
definitely.
The boys are at the back, like he just moves up, unlike other goalkeepers who just stay back, and he just moves up, and there will be another option for the attacking players, or even if not the pass did not arrive at the attacking players, they can just open up the space very effectively. But yeah, overall it depends on the second half of the season, how they are
Yeah.
going to score after making some successful passes at the back.
So with Dilsa and Roy Keane being the back two, who do you think should start like the first the front two
Oh,
players?
if they start, if they have signed Panda, and I think Panda and Muffin will be a very, very good matchup.
Yeah.
And like playing, I would say a 1-2-1 formation or even 1-1-2 formation will be sufficient for them to gain enough possession, and they try to convert from the possession into some nice goals. And yeah, we can also expect some individual plays from Muffin in just like what we've seen from last week against, I forgot the team, but yeah, against any team, I think in D2 he can perform well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in Panda, and I think Panda is more like a futsal player, as I recognize, but
I've
he
not
has
I've not seen Panda for a really long time in Big
oh
Easy. But yeah, he
yeah,
was on my team actually in the first
oh
season
okay
for
oh
Gentleman. Yeah, he didn't play much, but he's definitely good.
yeah, he's a
He can
good
GK
player
as
in
well, but
futsal, and
also
yeah, it
um
depends on how he converts into the
yeah,
larger balls, not the smaller futsal balls with much more movements
yeah, he's
and people.
capable of scoring
Yeah,
some bangers for sure.
yeah. I think for Crazy Game we are optimistic about it, but how about the other teams, for example, Violent Kingdom? And I think Casey will have something to say
Yeah,
about Violent Kingdom, so I will leave the time to Casey.
Yeah, so of course, Violent Kingdom now in fifth position. Let me just change things first. So Violent Kingdom, of course, now in fifth position, and now of the, I think, I guess the only reason I did predict that Violent Kingdom was gonna be sixth, in the preseason review, but actually they have surprised me quite a bit, because even with in Liam's absence, because Liam was supposed to be how's it called? Liam was supposed to be Violent Kingdom's key player, and after he have left, I guess they have continued to implement his defensive formation, and they have been a really good team defensively, and they have grinded out um, 4 draws. I think 2 to 3 draws out of the 4 games that they have played without Liam. So yeah, so I think the good thing about Violent Kingdom is that they generally defend as a team, and they have a working formation here. So okay, the stream is a little bit laggy now, but let's try to see what's going on here. So right, let's wait for the clip to return here. So this part is okay, let's just ignore the first one and move to the second clip. So this clip here, yeah, this is the problem. I should get a better PC here. Now is all very very blurred. Okay, but okay, looking at this is a game between Violent Kingdom and Crazy Gang. They are defending a lead which they got in, I think, the first 10 seconds of the game. They scored via Carl, and this is their Crazy Gang just pushed up for a last minute attack. So you can see even Dioza was playing a very high line here, and just observe the formation here from Violent Kingdom. So they are using that classic bus formation, like a 1C. So a keeper, and you look at the defensive wall of Josh Mitsuki and Josh Mystic and Carl here, trying to stop halt the momentum of Crazy Gang here. And yeah, this is on their defense formation. And a big factor is also thanks to them having probably one of the best GKs in the division, Mitsuki. So Mitsuki over here, throughout the entire season so far, he has been very alert, and he has made a lot of good saves. And looking at this is one of the goals that they scored as a result of Mitsuki's composure here. And yes, while it might seem to be like a fluke here, let's wait for the clip to rewind itself. So the initial deflection, I guess, the save of Donald Trump, and Mitsuki was able to be composed enough to spot that gap in between the red drum players, and they managed to actually squeeze out a goal from that after a mistake from Wanon. And yeah, it shows how big of a player Mitsuki can be in key games. And look at the next clip here. Yeah, it's going to take a while, but we'll get this happening. Let's not have this in the lowest resolution. It's actually it's such a turn off here. Hold on. Yeah, but okay. Let's continue to have a look at this. So you might not be able to see it very clearly on the stream, but Mitsuki is the blue side will be Violent Kingdom. So this is how he deals with those 1v1s. He plays a very high line. So every time the ball gets close to him, he will just approach the ball, and all the 50-50 chances he have actually managed to win, not because of just luck, but also because of pure positioning and understanding of players' kicking habits. So right here, he wins. I think this is against a 2v1 challenge against Softy and Ninja Rua. You all can't see it very clear on the screen, but yeah. So it does show how key a player the Mitsuki can be as the last line of defense for Violent Kingdom. Okay, finally we have a one, and this is a 2v1 chance that Mitsuki was able to save there. It's not the best of finish from Muffin, but in this kind of scenario where you expect a goal from this kind of attacks, Mitsuki did well to actually read what Muffin was trying to do here and stop. I think this was to defend their 1 goal lead as well. So. And let's continue to look at this next one. This is right. So another good strength for Violent Kingdom would be the fact that they have a very strong defense that's led by a former Division 2 winner, Donald Trump. So I think it's similar to what Roy Keane's role is with Crazy Gangs, that he has the awareness to know when's the correct time to push up here, and his positioning is on point most of the time in this season. So this was one of the chances that was created during their 0-0 draw against Royal Academy. So just constantly marking on Softy and trying to cover the angles for Softy to cross here. And even that ball that bounces off the wrong side of him, he has the awareness not to not to kick the ball backwards to his goal, like a lot of newer players might actually do. Is a very common mistake here. And yeah, this is another clip of Trump here. So now you can't really see what's going on here, but it's not that I really am trying. Let me try to just get the quality. I have a better quality for this one. Yeah, it's finally better. So look at this. Red team is Violent Kingdom, and yeah, Donald Trump is the player with the Avatar T. So in this scenario, he knows when is the right time to push up, because he sees that Nampai 2 is actually taking some time to make a pass, and he pushes up with Josh as a two-man unit to close down that shot and maybe even somehow create a goal from that. So this is how like a the defensive midfield role is to somehow just close out attacks and prevent a possible counter attack from there, and that chance over there might have in different scenarios probably might have led to a goal if they manage to get off a successful rocket from there. And yeah, the next one, actually this is might not be talked about much, but Carl as I guess 1 coin, I think he went for 1 coin or 0 coin, I can't remember, I think it's 1 coin, and I think he is going to be one of the more creative players that there's create any form of win condition for Violent Kingdom, because this is I'm going to mention this later, but one of Violent Kingdom's weakness is their lack of offensive output, but Carl might be the answer to this, because let's have a look at this clip once again. So on this equalizer against Red Drum, this is a very good pass, and identifying that there is a 3v2 chance just in the top corner, the top corner of the map here. He finds the top part of Mystic there for him to get the first touch pass off to Donald Trump for finish in empty goal here. So this is where Carl might be significant to getting goals for Violent Kingdom. And okay, let's try to get a better quality for this as well. I don't know why every single clip is being shown at the worst quality possible, but yeah, this is another example of Carl's creativity. This is the one that he almost created a chance for Trump to score from the corner here, and I guess Carl probably in this Violent Kingdom squad would be probably the most technically able player. So you're gonna expect a lot of chances coming from Carl. Yeah, let's move on to the next one. So this one, right? Hold on. Let's see what happens from this, and yeah, this is a little bit on Carl's positional awareness here. So this is just always poaching and understanding, taking every single chance that comes his way and not wasting it. So a lot of players might have panicked at that rare ball that come to here. I know it is a mistake from Nuo there, and Ovo managed to somehow sneak in a pass across a very scuffed cross from the corner, to be honest. But Carl able to take full advantage of that and convert. I know this is probably just a consolation because the final score was a 5-1 loss for Violent Kingdom, but in key games where the score lines are tighter and 0-0, 1-0 or stuff, this kind of clutch moments will be key for Violent Kingdom to secure at least a point or even 3 points for their team. And yeah, let's look at the next clip for Carl. And this was the goal in the first 10 seconds that I was mentioning about to Crazy Gang. So here he actually managed to outsmart Dilza here. Of this initial bounce is almost at the halfway line here, and Dilza thought that he was going to go for the far post shot, and he took that early shot, and Dilza was probably taken by surprise here, couldn't cover the goal in time, and this was a major factor in Violent Kingdom actually securing a 1 point from this against a pretty strong squad from Crazy Gang. And I know they did concede I think a last minute goal in the second half here. And right, so just keep an eye out for Carl in the remaining rounds here. And yeah, having said that, I know that I said that they are a really defensive team, but they are susceptible to misplays here. So I guess the problem is when they were trying to implement Liam's tactics here, and I guess players in general don't really know in some scenarios what to do when the balls are in weird and awkward positions here. So I think it's a mistake from Mystic here, because I guess you see it's a good pass, by the way, from Mystic here, and a very good screen from Killian. I guess he pushed off Mystic here and allowed the ball to go into the middle here. So Keen and Killian
actually
straight away on this one. So yeah, you're gonna say?
Actually, Mystic right here. I think it's Mystic here. It's like he shouldn't have pushed like that.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think he has a way to clear to the corner.
Yep, exactly. So I think over here, what Mystic did was, I guess he hesitated a little bit. So I don't know why he didn't decide to kick that ball to the corner.
No,
There. So
I mean Mitsuki, not Mystic.
Mitsuki.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Mystic was holding the ball.
True. But I do think that even in this awkward scenario here, if he was his reflex was a little bit faster, I guess just a little bit before that. Yeah, right here he could have just kicked it to the far corner for them to recover. But I guess it is not that easy for them to to have to.
Yeah, but
react
after
to
here, right? Just like a couple frames later, Mitsuki actually has a chance to not spam it and just maybe just absorb it, take it, and then clear it to the corner.
Yeah, that's the problem. I guess it's easier to see this way when you are looking at replays. But I guess in the heat of the moment during a league game, things like this is gonna happen.
Just awkward for Mystic to kick here, so Mystic is rushing at him.
Yeah, so this is the main issue that I'm gonna talk about. Is usually miscommunications or misplays from in defensive situations. And this is not the only issue, because sometimes I know they were probably taught to defend with 4 people, but sometimes bad positioning from the forwards eventually just leads to the entire team defending in with just 3 people. It's just as Liam always complains to his team about defending in 3 depth. You get his frustration. Liam does make a correct point here. This is another mistake here for Donald Trump. I don't know what he was trying to do here. Just took too long and gets a mistake. Lots of mistakes like this. The reason why I'm showing these clips these are definitely goals that are avoidable. So you won't want to concede goals like this if you want to actually have a chance to get promoted to Division 1 and just catch up to the top 4. So
never ever do that.
Yeah, probably like a brain fart at a moment of time, but you don't you won't know. And over here, look at Carl's positioning here. So if Carl was actually defending properly, like beside his goalkeeper, this goal wouldn't have happened. This is Carl, just a result of Carl trying to cherry pick, and the team ends up defending in 3 depth here. Well, I get that they are Violent Kingdom is at that point of time was trailing 3-0. But I don't know if this is the right call. And I guess in every sense you still want to prioritize defense first before you can actually get a chance to counter. So this is the 3 depth issue for Violent Kingdom. Let's have the next one. Right, give me a moment. Let's open this. Let's see what's the issue over here right now. And this is another mistake that could be avoided. I'm not sure whether it was a ping issue from Atleti, and this is probably also one of the problems that Violent Kingdom have to deal with, because one of their supposed main players, Atleti, I think he's one of the PIOT players as well, is usually playing at a rather high ping. I think 90 to 100, I guess around 100 and so. Goals like this definitely can be avoided here, and just goes to show how sometimes when even if the team is defending really well, just a small mistake could just cost the team all 3 points, or even that 1 point from a draw. And this final clip that I'm gonna show, let's see what's the issue here. This is a very damning defensive flaw here. Just have a look. I'm just gonna pause at one point of time. Just have a look at this formation here. There is literally, this is not even 3 depth at this point. It's like a 2 depth here. Donald Trump trying to control the ball in the corner, and Carl is not even in Softy's way. So if the ball does somehow gets across to Softy, it's just a free goal to tap in. Oval and Carl are nowhere near or nowhere in the defensive formation. So I guess it really it really depends on how Mystic is going to plan the players to start for each game. So over here we can see a definite mismatch between Oval and Carl and the rest of the team. So you're probably gonna have prefer to one, maybe even Mystic here, because even though Mystic is not the most technically gifted player, he does have some defensive instinct here. In the games where you can just watch, I guess a game against, was it Crazy Gang? Yeah, that 1-1 draw against Crazy Gang. Mystic was actually doing a pretty decent job defensively. I'm not going to comment about the decisions he make in the game, but just based on positioning, he's doing a lot better. He knows that he has to be behind to mark out players. He has to be behind to make up the extra man to somehow just block out crosses and not make things so easy for the opponent to get a cross in. And yeah, this could have easily resulted in a goal here. There was just all kinds of ball in this particular game, especially almost more than 8 or 9 times where the ball was just easily passed through the middle to find like in an attempt to find a Royal Academy forward in the box to tap it in. So it's something they should be working on. How the team defense in general, and even for fringe players like Oval and Todd, you're gonna have you probably just train their defensive positioning as well. The mindset must be the same, because if any of the teammates are not in sync with each other in terms while they're defending, it's gonna be a really easy goal to concede and a very soft goals to concede. And in games, especially in a team where their offensive output isn't the best, you will definitely want your defense to be on point, because otherwise, if you can't score, you should at least be able to defend. Yeah, so that's what I feel about Violent Kingdom in this first half of the season. And yeah, so ultimately whether Violent Kingdom can actually make it to the top 4 number one is going to depend on how they improve their defense in the latter half, as well as the chances that Carl can create as the most technically gifted player in this team, and his as well as his creativity. Yeah, and thoughts from two of you.
Yeah. I think the benefit from having a consistent lineup. I think in the last clip there, I think Carl and Ovo, was it Ovo? Yeah.
Yeah, Ovo.
That I don't think they train with the team much. They don't scrim much. I think if you have like someone like Josh and I don't know the squad, but yeah, I think they'll benefit from having the strongest lineup. Sure, being a defensive team.
Yeah, I agree. And I think they actually need a leader to be talkative and to understand what's happening and to instruct the younger players. For example, Mystic and Josh you can see that they are quite willing to learn, to understand what's happening. But I think they currently lack a leader. Like previously, they have Liam who can be a leader, but he will just scolds his teammates at some extent. So I think it depends on how the team could organize to understand who is going to do what action at different time of the match. So it is more like an organization, the team play before how the games are actually played, and some other technical issues. So I think they should first identify like how the plays should be organized, how everyone's responsibility should be, and by not making some very strange movements during the match, like some substitutions. And I think they could get better and see what will unfold for their current upcoming two rounds or 4 rounds. I'm not sure, but yeah, let's see what happens for them.
Right.
Yeah, I think ironically, I think they do look better without Liam. Yeah, I mean,
let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
no
they do have Donald Trump, who's last season's Division 2 champion. I think he's a good leader.
Yeah, he's a good leader, to be honest. Let's see how the team will be organized under him. And I think he's a quite traditional player in terms of play style, but I think that's what the team needs at the moment. And yeah, we'll see how they can bounce back in the remaining matches.
Yeah, and it's I guess it's a good response from Violent Kingdom as well to to react to, like to know that they have to be independent of Liam. So even though they didn't really have that much of good results, and you could actually see from the stat itself, Liam is the one that's actually scoring the most of Violent Kingdom's goals. Even I know he scored the he scored the most goals as a Violent Kingdom, not only for their team but also against their team. So, but even though I mean, it speaks volume about the impact that he has. If he plays well, the whole team plays well. If he doesn't play well, the team suffers and all that. It's just simple as that. But after his departure, even without a tactician that is he was a finalist, I think a grand finalist in SPHB Division 1. I remember he was telling me that yes, they also showed me replays and about the kind of team that he was going against and the kind of team that he was what's it called? He was playing with. So technically they were definitely underdogs, but they somehow made it all the way to the grand finals. And you would think that Liam will probably bring a very similar mentality to Violent Kingdom. Just as long as you're able to defend well, it becomes a wall of attrition. So it becomes a fact where the first team that makes a mistake is the one to concede. And as long as you defend well and you can find you can capitalize on chances where the opponent makes a mistake, and you have players like maybe Carl or Liam to convert the counter attack on upon the mistakes that the opponent makes. So I actually am very surprised at how they responded to Liam's departure.
Yeah. Sounds a little bit similar to Ronaldo, to be honest. I could think of, but yeah.
And let's see let's see whether Manchester United will bounce back like what we expect.
Yeah, without Ronaldo.
Yeah, Violent Kingdom would be. So.
Yeah, so I think this. So Violent Kingdom are now currently set at 5th position, and yeah, so 4th, 5th, and 6th position are only a point apart. So every single point, every single game is gonna be important for the teams in the bottom 3. And I think that the last team that's in the bottom 3 is Chanel, and it's going to be covered by Doug as well. So Doug, what do you have for us?
For Chanel. Oh, let's go.
Right.
Chanel. So I think we all understand who is the anchor of the team. Optimus, or you can call him Sis, like his previous names. But yeah, we are just from these clips, it is just typically showing his dominance in terms of defense, and we understand that he's a very good keeper and also a defensive leader at the team. And you can see from his movements, from his pressures, and he's like doing everything at the back for the team. Like we just wait for the rewind of the clips, that you can actually see that he does every clearance just in this clip, and which leads to a counter attack, and yeah, bodying Softy and awareing there could be a counter attack potential. It falls a little bit back and blocks the shot and positions himself well in front of Softy, and didn't commit here, but stays back and eventually made the successful clearance. A little bit positioning issue here, but against the current top scorers, he did not actually do anything wrong right here. So for the next one, let me recall what this is. So I think although we have Sis as a very, very good player in Chanel, the other players, especially in this match, did not actually understand their defensive responsibilities. Like they are just leaving Sis to do everything. But for example, by looking at their positions at like some particular instances, for example this one, 3 versus 1 or 3 versus 2, but look at where Party is and look at where PXN falls back, but just like 5 seconds ago, he's just staying at a position which you could not retrieve the clearance, and you cannot help anything in terms of their own defense. This is just very, very lucky for Chanel to not concede a goal here. Look at Party. Yeah, here he did correctly, but just like 2 or 3 round of passes before, like look at his position right now. It's too far for them to get the clearances. And in terms of like where Party is again, it's not helping the defense, but rather they are just making it difficult for Sis to do everything. And yeah, so I think while Sis is very, very good at defense, Optimus I would say, the other players seems to need. I think they need to take more defensive responsibilities. Not sure what Optimus is typing about, but I think it's more about their defensive movements. So
and
the
it's-
defense is not that organized in terms of at least how many players are going to defend.
Yeah. I guess over here is also one of the common pitfalls for the more inexperienced player is the fact that they think as long as you stay at the front, the ball can somehow come to you and you can actually convert to that. So number one is it's not a guarantee that every time you're gonna get a very, very good ball from the defense line. And secondly, if the ball might not even come to you in the first place, and you're gonna just deprive your team of one additional player to in the defense. So a goal like in this scenario, I know that in actual in reality he's actually closing, trying to make the competition like a 3v3 at the front, because him having a very, very high line here is trying to limit the freedom of their opponent's GK to freely press up for attacks. But the problem is, I guess you have to understand what kind of team you're playing against and what kind of keeper that for this scenario Nam Hai2 is, because he is not a ball playing not that much of a ball playing GK, more like just a very bona fide GK, just a simple GK to stop shots and stuff, and sometimes press up high to stop counter attacks. But other than that, he's just a normal goalkeeper that that is usually not even going to be involved in attacking play. So you will prefer to have a more patient approach, whether you are a forward or whether you are a midfielder trying to poach for goals that get deflected out. So I guess this is one pointer that the forwards in this division in general can pick up.
Yeah. Or maybe it is that the intentions to put 2 players in front and see what happens.
Yeah.
But we never know. But the result is that the consequences is that there would be so much there will be so much possession lost by not getting the ball. And here it should be about, let's see what's happened. Oh, again, some of the positioning for some, I would say, relatively young players. Yeah, they're just standing too far from receiving the passes, and like Assist cannot do everything, Optimus cannot do everything, and it will be very, very hard for them. Like, for example, in this situation, if Ninja actually picks the ball up, and there will be a 2 versus 1. So other than understanding your opponents, it is also on understanding the responsibilities at every instance, like when to defend and when not to defend. But it looks to me that in these situations, it's more like the laziness, I'm not sure, but or lack of understanding of the game by leaving so much space between the attacks and the midfield. So it's like 6 against all, but not like the team against another team. So we'll see what happens if they have some more defensive improvements after the transfer window. But overall, they are not actually that bad in terms of a team overall, because I do spot that there are some good points about this team. For example, in terms of when where maybe you can move to the next clip where where they are at attacking position. Actually, the counter press is quite good. For example, at this moment, this is doing a midfielder, and yeah, you can see that they stand at some correct positions to retrieve the ball. So even if they are against Spectrum, a very possession-based team, they do not actually allows them to have very easy counter attacks. It's partially attributed to his technical ability, but the positioning for Party and PXN at this instance is actually not that bad. To be honest, like Regem still cannot clear the ball right now. Like it already takes like for a minute, but so I think what I'm trying to say here is if they have the ball and if they eventually put the ball into the corner, they do get some certain possession which they can work with their understanding of making some presses at the opponent's corner. So, and another thing that I would like to point out is about some other players, which is the captain. I think the captain for this team, Maguire. I think he's a very noticeable player in terms of his play style. He just actually plays a Mitrovic, but maybe he did not actually play that much or score a lot in terms of team plays, like in terms of bodying other players, in terms of movements and understanding of the game. I think he is very good. And at these clips, and you can see he's having a very simple play style, just to kick the ball to the front and not going to do any wall bounce. And here you can see that he is like pushing C-ball away, which you cannot see from Party or PXN. Again, pushing away the middle players. And yeah, I think this will be a long
Speaking
clip.
about pushing, I think I think the idea of a physical presence, pushing players to create space is an angle or an idea or a possible tactic that is usually overlooked by a lot of the newer players here because there is a lot of potential to come out just like that. Look at Harris pushing Hampen away. Let's rewind that a little bit. So over here, right? So the significance of physical presence here to be able to push the ball, push a player out of the play to allow a teammate to actually make a pass here. Lots of applications of screening and pushing, just to create space or even sometimes to score goals. Is an angle that is very much it's very underrated and pretty much overlooked by a lot of the newer players. And even and might be the case also for some of the more experienced players as well, because to them it doesn't seem like it's a significant detail to
look at Maguire again.
yeah
He's just doing it every time
to warrant that adopting the tactics and stuff.
Look at it. I think there should be another clips, very similar clip, and we can just look into Maguire's movements. It's just let me see. What's this one? I think it should be the second clip of Maguire, who is... let's see what happens.
It's just... I think over here is... From what I can see from this clip itself, it's just very good marking from Maguire. It's a very good spatial awareness by Maguire to understand.
He's very good at these understanding of the games. Although technically he may not be the best players as compared to so many good Thailand newcomers.
But those are the easiest to improve. In my opinion.
Let's see what happens here. Yes, pushing away C-ball, getting the ball again,
really
and
nice.
once more. Wow.
Very good hold up play.
Center forward play, Mitrovic play. Typical. So very good from Maguire here, and he actually serves like an anchor for the attacks. And other than Maguire, I think there is another. I think not another, but there are some other good players in the team who are quite good at attack, and particularly I want to highlight Rodrigo, who has been scoring some important goals for the team, especially for example for scoring. I remember he scored 2 goals in one match. Is I forgot against who, but you can say that he has actually created some impact in terms of scoring goals for the team. And let's see what happens here. Oh, this one. I think this was more like the technicality of the team, which although they have some very good players, but in terms of the skills, technicalities, for example, Maguire, I wouldn't say he missed an easy goal, but he could have scored from there, and KHRB would miss a very, very simple ball bounce right here, and maybe we can move on to the next one. What's this one? Let me check. This one. I want to talk a little bit about the play style. Well, although I do rate Rodrigo as a good player, sometimes what I observe from some newcomers in Thailand who are trying to copy the meta Thailand play style by making some very, very direct passes, but in fact here, just like this one, he could have just waited a little bit to create more interesting plays, which I believe they are capable of, but it is more like the understanding of the game, which eventually lost a chance for them. Like for example, for this one, he can just hold the ball a little bit longer and pass to KJB, and KJB will have a 1-2 with, or just a simple bounce with Maguire to enable goal scoring chances. So for I think there should be some more clips. Let's see what. Is there any more clips? I forgot.
Pretty much all.
Yeah, I think overall they are very, very good in terms of defense, but the squad depth in terms of some other players, for example, Party, who is I believe is a newcomer for the team, but the team needs to be more organized when some newcomers are playing, and when, for example, Maguire is not playing, how are they going to keep the same play style? Are they going to force or use the body to shield to create more spaces in front in order to utilize their advantages in making some corner plays? So I think overall Chanel is just to ask, is there any transfers happening for Chanel?
I think K-Trap left.
K-Trap retirement.
Yeah, retire. One day retirement. Yeah.
1 day retirement, that was impressive. But K-Trap is also a very good player from our observations. So I think Chanel, they could have made some more changes in order to try to force them into the fourth place. But they do have some very, very good players.
But they've not signed a replacement. So.
Replacement for what?
They've not signed one. So just K-Trap the left and no one else.
They should.
But they could still sign some players.
Yeah, they should sign some good players in order to get into the fourth position. But with their current squad, like they have quite good players, but I'm not sure about the attendance. But like sometimes Maguire is not playing, sometimes Rodrigo is not playing, which are some of the
last week he was banned.
Huh?
He was banned for 2 matches.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Maguire, but yeah. There's some unusual incidents happening. But yeah, it also
can explain that.
Yeah, it also shows the squad depth is not that ideal, so they should develop on this direction. So anything to discuss about the Maguire's red card?
I think we can just look past that, to be honest.
Okay, yeah. He's a good kid. Yeah.
Yeah, I think overall they could have I would suggest them to make some changes in order to try to force them into the later matches.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead. Oh, okay. I think that they looked good when I think Jotaro came on last week against Red Rum.
Yeah, I also saw Jotaro, but I think he only played for one week. So I saw that he has a very, very good skills, and he makes the team looks more smooth when he is coming on, but I think he did actually participate in only 1 week. So yeah, it's again the squad depth problems. Like how are they
Yeah,
going to make every player available, and so that they could try to score more, make some points from some important matches.
yeah, but interesting to see. Jotaro, Rodrigo, Optimus, and Maguire together for once.
Yeah. There will be found some interesting plays which we would expect to see in the coming 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens.
Yeah, and definitely we have to agree that the most important piece, to the key to Chanel's success will definitely be the performance of Optimus here, because as the most technically able player in his teams, he is not only he does not only have just have the defensive awareness to stop important goals. He always, as you can see from the clips, he has been always he always identifies what is the team's current biggest threat, so he knows who to mark and what which channels to block out from. And the fact that he is a very offensive technically gifted player means that he has the capability to sometimes even come out to create offensive chances, as you can see from one of the clips earlier with one of the clips there involving Optimus in the red drum corner. So having a very good technical ability also sometimes gives you the ability to create assists or even score on your own. That's the versatility of being a defensive midfield. So the remaining key to completing Chanel's successful journey to the top four, or just maintain their current top four position, will be the team selection. So as you said, Maguire, I believe he is definitely a key player in for Chanel. So he needs to be available, make himself available for most of the game, and at the same time he has to constantly perform at to his best ability here. And you can have the remaining two positions that's held by more consistent players, like maybe Jotaro, maybe even Party, because I think for a short spell with Party playing at goalkeeper, Chanel is actually has played really well in I think the week that just passed when they were playing without Maguire after their suspension. So they need to identify who their key players are and field them consistently. I know it might be a selfish decision, especially if Maguire is the kind of captain to want to distribute game time equally to all the players. But if you want to prioritize, give the team the opportunity to make it for the playoffs, so you have to understand when is the right time to give your game time to the fringe players for their sake. And yeah, that is the current fourth place team, Chanel. And now we move to the top three. And in third position we have Red Drum, one of the favorites to finish the first in the league. Is currently in third position. And Lon, probably gonna have your thoughts on that.
Yeah. For Red Drum, I think it's the team very well. It's very dominant. From the first clip, I think we're just gonna show the strength of the team first. First thing we know is the formation is it's a box formation 2-2, very distinctive of Thai players, and they're really persistent. As you can see here. Just gonna let this clip roll. Yeah, the finish of it. But let's look at the start of the clip here. They're really persistent. They just keep going like a machine. We just wait for the clip to restart. Yeah. Yep. Okay. I think that was. Yeah. Okay. Here, they created a chance. Rolly, he should have passed there. He misses it. One on straight away, counter pressing. They win the possession back. Movie in one on, and yeah, straight away they lose the ball. They press and gain the position back again, and now Rolly finishes. Yeah, that's the first player we can look at. Maybe it's Rolly. He's a very good player, holding up play here. It might look fluky here, but actually he's totally in control of everything here. Firstly, he pushes the Royal Academy players away. You'll see here, pushes Rata away, and he shoots at the near post, anticipating the deflection. And yeah, he follows it, then there's a goal. Yep. And you can move to the next clip. This one, yeah, this one is just the overall play again. They're not the most experienced, but for D2 maybe they are, but they're very, very technically gifted. They control the weight of the ball really well. You can see from the start of the clip here. Soft pass, hard pass, Rolly here, holding the ball, giving it back to Hoovy. Just keep going, domination in the middle third of the pitch here. Right? And that's really important for a team that wants to dominate possession. Yep. And in the next one, what's this? Right. All right. This is another key player for this team is definitely Hoovy. I think everyone knows I'm a big fan of him. But yeah, he's a very special player, I'd say. Here he bounces the ball very close to himself, give him the biggest possible space, and the team gets a chance out of it. Yeah. Maybe we can see it again here. Maybe not yet. It's fine. In the next clip here, again, Hoovy, very strong in the corner. Here, this is something we don't see a lot in D2 or even in D1 actually. So he is able to get the ball out of the corner and pass straight the direct ball to the other back player, not the aggressor, the DM. He actually gets the ball all the way to the keeper here, and there's so much space here for the team to attack. You actually see this a lot with the Korean team, the Bonhair team, the legendary team, and it's good to see it here. Yeah, but overall they're a really strong team. They're a force to be reckoned with for sure. Yeah, but there's always a but. So we can look at the weaknesses now, I think. Yeah, the weakness, for anyone who has any heart problems, just maybe don't look at the next 5 minutes. But yeah, why not? He's a strong player, he's a good player, but sometimes he just has moments like this. He misses control of the ball, that's fine. But then he passes straight to Zach, who almost scores. And you'll see this throughout that game, as in the next replay as well. Here, like, I don't know what to say about it. But if you look at the start of the clip, he's against two player, and he still decides it's a good idea to spam against them, and it gives the opponent almost a chance here, right? And he's such a good player. I don't know why he decides to do that, because he could have easily absorbed it. The next clip here is not one on source here, fortunately. Otherwise, all the 4 clips would be just him. But this one here, all 3 players pushes for red rum, and they just got owned by Mitsuki. We've seen this before. But yeah, even after the 3v1, what are they doing here? They expect 1-on to win a 3v1 here, and just hang 3 players cherry picking here. That shouldn't have happened, right? When you're tracking back, you should run straight.
Yeah, it's just that you see
they're not here.
Movement there from Donnie is pretty damning there. You can see
exactly.
by a bit. Just let a little bit. You don't know why, so you just pull back from here.
Yeah,
You
he's
expect-
expecting one to win.
Yeah.
To be fair, she should have won that. But yeah, yeah, it's just another complacency. I think you put it very well. Yeah. And the next one, this one is off game. This is another what are you doing, bro? Like you just score a goal. It's 2-1 2 minutes ago, and then he decided to sub in and two players who aren't regulars for them.
Alright,
Yeah.
eventually went to draw this game as well, right? 2-2.
Yeah, and then they went on to concede a goal here. Like
Yeah,
I think there's some issue with management issue. I understand he wants to give game time to everyone, but sometimes there's time and place for it. Yeah. But yeah. But other than that, I think they're really strong. Like if they can sort out the complacency issue, and then they went on to concede straight away, as you can see here. and there's 2 points dropped here when they should have just an easy 3 points here. They do have a problem holding on to the lead. Yeah.
It does seem kind of like a complacency issue, right? By the way,
Yeah.
a banging finish, by the way. What a composed finish by Jutaro there.
Yeah, exactly. Just Rodrigo and Jotaro, I think, two very good players.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I think that's the last clip, right?
Yeah,
That one.
last one.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's it really, Red Drum. This is the last one, yeah. This was Hui's mistake, unfortunately. I think in the commentary we actually thought it was Vanon's mistake, but looking back, I think it's fine what Vanon did here. He actually passed a really good ball to Hui.
Yeah.
Should have done better here. And yeah, he shouldn't have gone for the spam there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just another complacency issue, I think.
Not only complacency, but also a lack of patience there, just trying to force, recognizing, oh, I made a mistake
Yeah,
there, but
definitely.
I'm not making the right amends for the mistake that I made. Instead of just trying to hastily, somehow win a spam to quickly redeem myself. So I guess it's a little bit on a pride issue as well, because it's not the right attitude to have there. I know you made a mistake, but that's not the right way to make amends to
Exactly.
yeah. So I think this is all we have. And Doug, do you have any thoughts on Red Drum, how they perform so far?
Yeah, of course, we all favor Red Drum as one of the best team in the league, and yeah, it seems that at some matches they are not living up to their expectations and dropping some easy points. Like I think they draw four matches or how many? I'm not sure.
Yeah, two draws, 4 draws and 2 wins.
Yeah, crazy. You're expecting them to like outscore their opponents every matches, but they are just.
I think
losing
most
some.
of them they actually took the lead first, or multiple times, but
Yeah,
still
yeah,
dropped points. Yeah.
Then it somehow explains the mentality after getting into the lead, or maybe it could be some substitutions, but they do not actually hold on their lead so much, which is something not good for a team contending for the championship. Yeah, that's all I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Any further comments on Red Drum?
Yeah, I think we will say. Is there any transfer for Red Drums to be honest? How about the Vicino issue?
I don't think that's going to go through
Okay.
because it's not a fair trade. Osaka's not getting anything back.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Nuo is being kind to let Vicino go, but in return, he gets nothing.
But I think Vicino is professional enough. He's going to carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the place, Red Drum. So I guess we could just summarize the first half of the season for Red Drum as being overly complacent, and also questionable decision making, both from both in game and and out of the field. So meaning like substitutions and making the right changes there. So lots of points dropped, and Red Drum getting punished just because of these mistakes that's being made. So and I'm sure if those draws, especially those games against Violent Kingdom and that game against Chanel, if they have won those, they'll be easily at the top of the table and with a considerable amount of lead as well. So there is just Red Drum, and you can probably just in a nutshell, a team that is very stacked but has been really complacent and underperforming in in every sense of the word. And
Yeah,
that's
Beckham needs to murder the game, like their team name.
and yeah, there's
Thank you.
there's Red Drum. So in second we have Royal Academy. So in Royal Academy, to me, feels like a team that there's actually a surprise package actually, because while they have a pretty their main roster is pretty strong with experienced Vietnamese players like Deck, Ninja Rua, De Gea as well. De Gea, I think probably one of the best goalies in the Vietnamese league, and they have a really good enforcement in the form of Softy there in a draft, who is a very, very little striker. And I think overall they had a really decent first half of the season, and they do have their weaknesses as well, as we'll be covering later. So I guess the main strength for Royal Academy is that they have a very, very skillful pair of forwards, Softy and Rata especially. So these two players definitely the most technically gifted in the squad, and also sometimes just coming clutch in key moments to make the right pass and do the right skills to get past some opponents that require so. And as you can see from this very first clip, this is a Softy montage here, getting past Hanpen. I think on 2 occasions actually. The first let's just wait till this clip resets itself. It's just lagging a little bit. So at this corner, I managed to bait the X and get around Hanpen in what I usually like to call as a nutmeg. And this, on the second occasion, performs a very good wall bounce and very close distance to himself to get the ball to Rata to create a half chance maybe. If the pass was a little bit better, I guess Rata could have controlled and started given a proper back pass for the team to launch a counter attack. And this second one is a demonstration of Softy's corner handling skills. So over here, just doing everything he can. Okay, the quality's just gone to shit now. Hold on. Let's get the quality up. I don't know why this thing is doing this to me. I really got to get a better PC. Yeah, I guess it's lagging. I have to wait for the options to come out, but in the meantime, you can see in the corner Softy doing everything he can to keep the ball away from Zach, and that is an important skill to have when you are the one in the corner, because if you are able to create a distance and keep the ball away from your opponent, you are able to have complete control of the ball and decide whether you want to cross or make a dangerous back pass for your teammate to get a cross in. And over here, this resulted in a goal. It's a very good back pass, by the way, from Cyborg. Just usually a normal pitfall would be players just hastily trying to get a shot in after the cross. I think I finally got the options out. Let's get the quality out as well. Right, let's have a look. So, yep. It's a cross in from Cyborg, and Cyborg recognizing Softy is free in the far post, goes for the first time pass back, and this all wouldn't have happened if Softy didn't manage to establish corner dominance in this particular scenario. And this doesn't have to happen just for this game. It happens in most of the games where the teams are probably of teams that are not as strong as teams like Red Drum and probably Gamba Osaka. So in scenarios like this, the chances are going to get gobbled up if Softy is given that freedom in the corner. And over here, this is another Softy compilation actually, showing that striker instinct there to test the keeper with a quick shot in the near post. And this is a very common technique that's used by even some Division 1 players especially, and against more inexperienced keepers, this is probably one of the more potent what's it called? One of the more potent skills to have for a forward. Yeah, let's try to get this rewind. I don't know why these clips are giving me so much problem today. So yeah, this is a near post shot from Softy. And now there's Rata compilation here. So let's see what Rata does here. Let's rewind it. I think this is past the clip already. Let's go back. And yeah, alright, this is not a skill just per se. It's just the spatial awareness and the creativity from Rata to screen out a player. We earlier mentioned about the significance of establishing physical presence in a hexball game. So in that particular instant, let's watch this again. So here, watch what Rata does to Tamakin here. So this, or just based on this static image alone, it looks like a pretty defendable 3v3 until you realize that the ball is going towards the left side towards Nuo, and Rata is actually screening off Tamakin for Ninja to get a clear passage of play. So he pushes Tamakin away and gives this very good 2v1 chance here. So now Tamakin and I don't know, I think it's Versino, yeah. Versino, these two players are taken out of the play. It looks like a temporary 2v1, and it's a very good chance, a very good shot by Softy in the far post here. It's probably it's in the most how do I put it, is the angle is perfect. The angle in which the initial shot that Softy takes is perfect because it's just right off the post. Is probably at the most at the boundary of where, you know, just a little bit, just a 0.1 angle off, and that ball would have just come out on the wrong side of the post there to not be a goal. So it's a good save, a good shot from Softy, and a really good physical awareness, spatial awareness by Rata too.
Yeah, you can just call it the hop finish.
Yeah, exactly. It's the early shot, right? The early ball to the top corner.
Yep.
And yeah, this one, right? And one of the strengths of Royal Academy throughout this season is their conversion rates from the opponent's mistakes is probably really, really high. I haven't really counted the how many percentage of their goals were scored from defensive mistakes, but they have been really potent in front of especially where their opponent's mistake there. So this the quality here isn't really good, but I think this was a mistake here by Optimus, and it is an attribute actually, a special skill for a player to be in the right place at the right time to pounce on mistakes here. So I guess Softy has the quality here to know when is the time that the opponent might actually commit a mistake here, and he just converts them. And Softy and Rata actually for Royal Academy they are the top scorers for Royal Academy. Softy now at 8 goals and Rata at 6, and yeah, a big portion of Softy's goals are from all these poached mistakes here. And let's look at the next one. This is another mistake by from the opponent. I think it's Chanel in this instance here. It's just very bad quality here, and this is just Rata. You all can't see what's going on here, but I'll just explain it here. The red one, the one on the board now is K-Truck B. Rata just simply taps the ball off him, just K-Truck's K-Truck B's mistake there, and they just pounce off it, and it's just deadly. You wouldn't want to make a mistake in front of this duo here, because you know that their conversion rate is really, really high. And yeah, this is the third instance where they have scored off a mistake here. Let's rewind it a little. So right now it's still very, very pixelated, and yeah, this is the first goal against Gamba Osaka. This was ultimately led to ended in a 2-2 draw, but it was not after Versino was subbed on to rescue Gamba Osaka. But let's see if we can rewind it again. This browser doesn't seem to want to listen today, but if you can see off this pixelated screen, what happens is Gamba Osaka actually led the ball through to the middle, and none of the players were dealing with it properly. The entire defense was in a complete mess, and Softy just takes advantage of every single chance he gets. It pretty much looks like a very Ronaldo-esque approach there to just tap in and just converting goals that are meant to be converted, and hence the high goal output from Softy and Violent King. Sorry, not Violent King, the Royal Academy from mistakes like this.
Maybe Ronaldo 5 years ago.
Yeah, maybe. And right now, so this next clip is right. Again, I apologize for the poor quality of the clip here, but the next strength that I'm gonna cover for Royal Academy is the very solid defensive partnership between Ninja Rua and Nam Haitu. So Ninja Rua probably he is the main defensive midfield in Royal Academy, and probably the how do I put it? The main man that you would expect to stop important goals there. So let's rewind this clip again and see what Ninja Rua does here. There's a lot of good awareness from positioning itself. So right here, he identifies that the more potent goal isn't probably some teams just based on this tactic image could get a pass off the K-Trap, but it is not that easy to get a pass and then score off this angle. So Ninja Rua understands this scenario, continues to observe Rodrigo's passage movements here, and just gets his body in. Doesn't even go for the X here, which in some scenario based on how Rodrigo kicks the ball could have ended up in quite a dangerous scenario here where you expect towards your own goal. But over here Ninja Rua just does enough, nudges the ball, takes the pace of the shot from Rodrigo, and gives Nam Haitu an easy clearance to deal with. This is the first defensive partnership here. Then now let's look at I think this is just a ninja montage here. Let's again try to get the resolution up. Hold on. Okay. Sorry for the delay, but we are back now. So let's rewind again from the beginning. So have a look at Ninja Rua. He is technically off position here because he's kind of like a backup keeper here, with Cyborg pushing up and Ninja Rua just trying to track back, but just not in the right position yet. And yeah, tracking back and trying to cover that position. Now this is a 2v1 scenario, and Ninja Rua understands that the ball here is actually, Roy doesn't really have a lot of support here because the ball is going in a really awkward position towards the corner. So Ninja Rua recognizes that, forces Kino to play the ball in the corner here, and then just stops the ball in the corner and get the entire team to track back. This is a very seasoned defensive midfield play here, in my opinion. Getting the ball to a safe location, screening the ball off Roy Keane to just buy the team a little bit of time to track back and defend. And yeah, the next. Alright, so this is those are the strengths that I've mentioned that Royal Academy has, and now we just go towards move to the weakness that they have, because as good as Nam Haitu and Ninja Rua might be, sometimes they are sometimes they made questionable mistakes, and I guess this is usually due to inexperience. Yeah, I guess it's just a matter of inexperience. You look at Nam Haitu here. Okay, for this game, I'll probably give them the excuse that they're missing Ninja Rua, and I'll come to my point later about squad depth here, because there seems to potentially be a problem for Royal Academy, because they have been really reliant on their main four for this team, which is Nam Haitu, Ninja Rua, Rata, and Softy. So in this scenario where Deck is playing in Ninja Rua's place, they are lacking a proper DM here to offer Nam Haitu the support. So if you were Ninja Rua, you probably expect Deck to continue track back here to offer Namhaitu a better chance here. But just because of the lack of time that these two players have come together, see the misunderstanding between these two, I guess I don't know whether Ninja Rua would have probably positioned himself elsewhere for Namhaitu to actually think of passing it there. But you can tell that I think this game especially they lost by a very very big margin. I think 6-0. This game without Ninja Rua they lost really badly because it just feels like Namhaitu is constantly out of his comfort zone here, having to deal with having no defensive midfield to provide his options here, and that's the first mistake that he's made in the clips that I'm going to show. This is the second mistake that Ninja Rua has made. Not Ninja Rua, Namhaitu. Let's rewind it a little, and you can't see it now, but based on what you can see in this blurred image, Namhaitu is now in the near post, and this simple shot here is a save that any keeper can make. I'm not sure whether it's because of ping issue or whether it was because of a leg pressure or something, like if there's even a thing. That kind of save you expect 9 out of 10. It should be a 10 out of 10 scenario where you keeper should definitely save that. Just X there, just keep your X on. You don't. I know macros are unallowed, but you can still spam your keyboard right to just get it out. He just stopped. He kind of just gave up seeing the ball bounce off that near post there. So I don't know what he was trying to do there.
I think his brain just lagged there because he was expecting the ball to go up without the deflection.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So this is the third Namhaitu mistake, and it does kind of show goes to show like shows that inexperience. That this was another clip earlier that Lollipop has shown with I think this was a Rolly compilation here. It's just Namhaitu having that unnecessary X there, so any seasoned goalkeeper will understand that there is no reason to actually X in whatever in whichever scenario. You just have to go along the ball, get in front of the ball and absorb the shot, bring it to the corner, get the team back to defend for you. You do not have to make this kind of stupid X to deflect the ball off behind you, especially to give your opponent essentially a free goal. This is just a two player against against an empty goal here. Namhaitu committed unnecessarily here in my opinion, and this just probably a show of inexperience from the Vietnamese keeper, the keeper for Royal Academy. And we go on to the fourth mistake here. Lots of mistake here, and they have resulted in precious point lost by Royal Academy themselves. So let's see what happens here. I guess he got outskilled here in the first phase of this attack, which I will give you an excuse. It's probably really good a very good piece of skill, and Muffin here gets it around Namhaitu, and this is still fine. The ball is looking pretty safe here, and this is I guess it's a combination between Namhaitu and Ninja Ruatu. I don't know why this kind of goal should not have happened in the first place. They have two players against one crazy gang attacker, and he isn't even the best player on their team, and he's scoring off two players there, and he's softy as well. I'm probably just expecting Namhaitu and Ninja Rua to actually get the ball out and making the early cherry picking run here. So you can see here he was actually, I guess he was going back, and after he see the first save here, and he just backs off from that. He doesn't even go back to help them at all, and just runs away here, and then that's the goal there. I don't think he could have made it on time there, but it goes to show like this kind of goal is definitely expected to be a save here, but you just have to be a little bit more experienced to know like how the spam physics works, because I think this is a thing, right, where some players thrive off being able to spam and understand how the physics behind this kind of spam battle works. If you have just a little bit of experience of that, this kind of goal wouldn't have happened either.
Yeah, Ninja, I think he overcompromised the weight of the ball here.
Yeah.
Because I think he tries to move back, but
Yeah.
it's too much.
Yeah.
He could have just like stand still, and stood firm there.
Yeah, then this clip is probably just one of the point here I made earlier about the lack of squad depth here. So Let's see what's going on here. So this is a mistake of this is De Gea's mistake here. I guess I'm not sure how much they've played together, but this, especially in the second half when Nam Hai-Tu was subbed off for De Gea against Gamba Osaka, De Gea had a really bad game from a goalkeeper's point of view there. Both goals especially was due to De Gea's bad decision making here. I don't know why he decided to pass in that wall of players. And there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players there, and two Sebo and Vecino just closing in the distance to attack that the bad decision made by De Gea there. This is the first one, and yeah, this goes to show like the lack of squad depth that they have, because if they are being over reliant on their main four, which I've mentioned earlier, they're gonna have a lot of issues when key players like either Softy, Rata, Ninja Rua especially, because he's one of the more key players in the defense of Royal Academy, and they're gonna have a lot of problems with chemistry issues. So they either gonna have to scrim more often together, or I don't know, find a way to overcome this squad depth issue. So this right here is the second mistake made by De Gea. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what was the mistake that he made. Okay, hold on. I wouldn't be surprised if my Firefox crashed now. Right, so I don't think he captured it actually, but it was yeah, okay, right. This is the mistake here. I know the ball is coming at a pace, but you should be able to even for a player like, I think Nam Hai-Tu will definitely have probably have saved that as well. It's just bad anticipation, and I guess he panicked in that moment as well. And the positioning is all off. He's not deflecting the ball in the right way, even if he's even if he decides not to X the ball. So it's a point about squad depth. It might be a stretch for that scenario. It wasn't that easy a save in the first either. But let's look at the next one. Next point about squad depth. Let's see what's the problem. So over here, right, this is deck. This is for deck because of their, I think this is just coming off a little bit of a lack of chemistry there. I'm not sure. It could be either Softy's bad pass, or maybe Ninja Run might have reacted a different way from how they usually play. So deck thought that the ball Softy's gonna pass to the bottom of deck, but Softy eventually just went for a V pass that went above Rolly there and just misses the ball, turns it to a 2v1, and Nam Hai-Tu in that instance loses the 50-50 against Rolly. And yeah, you wouldn't want chemistry to be the main issue that's causing your team to lose points here, especially the player of Deck's quality. Deck is, as I mentioned in the preseason review, is probably arguably the Vietnam community's best player, having the most experience playing. I guess he's played for almost 2 years as well. 2 years or more than a year, more than any player on the team. He's probably among the Royal Academy roster. He probably has the most experience of any of the rest here. So if they can actually forge a really good chemistry with Deck, in the absence of key players like Ninja Rua, or maybe sometimes even Rata and Softy, it would resolve this squad depth issue. And one last problem is I did mention that there has been a lot of times where Royal Academy is actually scoring off opponents' mistakes, and this does bring to the next point about precision, because let's imagine a scenario where the opponent had almost a perfect game, and you have to now rely on precision, and how do I put it? Good plays, accurate passes from your teammates there to actually come to a good goal. There, it's just you can't always rely on opponent making mistakes there, and key moments like this clip here, this could have been a goal. It's just a very bad positioning from Rata here, and there has been a lot of scenario where easy games that appears to be easy for Royal Academy, like against Violent Kingdom, where I think Violent Kingdom at that point just lost their captain there and do not have a lot of key players there. They have been drawing. They have drew the most recent one 0-0. of all the chances there, I guess it is, if they want to keep up this competition and not allow teams like Red Drum to catch up and even also have a chance to overtake Gamba Osaka for the first place, they have to improve on this precision problem here. And let's look at the last clip here. This is also poor decision making while in transition attack. I think this is a softy issue. Let's have a look at this particular instance. And sometimes I don't know whether it's bad decision making or it's just whether, I guess it's a combination of both, where players start to become very selfish and no one wants to go for themselves. So right over here, this looks like a very good chance, right, where you can just pass. Sometimes even get a 1-2 play with Ninja to create a space here. You can pass to Ninja to get a shot here. Let's play a little bit further right here. So this is looking like a very promising attack situation where he can probably cross and try to get some kind of play going on, but I don't know why he decided to just suddenly turn back and he doesn't even hit the target here. This was a big chance wasted in my opinion. And yeah, I know that they eventually won this game by quite a big margin. I think it was 4-1 or 5-1, I couldn't remember. I think 6-1. Yeah, it was a big margin here, but you don't want to waste these chances, especially when you're playing against some stronger teams like this. The decision making at the front also has to improve. So these are my thoughts on Royal Academy. They seem like a strong team on paper, but if teams are able to capitalize on the idea that they have a significantly higher conversion rate from mistakes, and just probably if teams want to get the better of them, just stop, have a more solid defensive shape and stop making unnecessary risks to compromise your team's defense there. And yeah,
they seem like a flat track bully at the moment, beating the smaller teams and struggling against the top teams, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I just saying they feel a bit like flat track bully. So like they beat up the smaller teams. But, yeah, the issues you pointed out, like with precision, stuff like that. I think they're struggling against the top teams like Red Drum or Gamba Osaka.
Yeah, exactly. Doug, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm very excited by the striker pairings. To be honest, Sofia already scored 8 goals, and Rata has been making some very important assists. So I think the striker pairings is not a problem in terms of scoring goals, but yeah, as you guys mentioned, how they organize at the backs and how, for example, the goalkeeper Nam Hai too. I think in auto room he actually plays well, but maybe some kind of nervousness or whatever reasons that just lets him concede so many goals, and these are some of the important scores, especially when Gamba Osaka is just winning 3 matches and drawing 3 matches. Like, you should get these points in order to be at the top level of D2, which is something that we expect at the start of the season. So how they can work out a better defensive plan and how they are going to stay concentrate on the whole season is something very important for them.
Yeah, I think they feel I think they play a different system to the team like Red Drum. They're very wide, very far from each other.
They do look like a team that's playing the very classic 1-2-1, like a non-box formation.
Yeah.
The invite pressure.
Yep, exactly.
A very anchored defensive midfielder, Ninja Rua, and then you have 2 strikers in front. Yeah, very organized.
Yeah, that could be punishing against the teams.
Yeah.
If they play like fast, high tempo in Red Drum.
Let's see what they can do in the remaining matches.
Yeah.
Are they making some changes in the transfer windows or?
Could be, yeah. I guess you have to agree that even though I guess this classic, having a how I always refer to them as bona fide keepers, but I guess classic goalkeepers, especially those that you expect from the older, the younger Thanks for Asia days where they are playing with a big goal instead of a big easy goal, and having just a player stand in a defensive zone rather than pushing up to help out with the attacks there. While it might not be in meta now, but you have to agree that sometimes it does provide some form of security for the team, because one downside of playing a 2-2 formation is if any small mistakes there, especially between the back two, it's gonna get punished. It's gonna be almost an empty goal to tap in. And if you are a player, or if you are a team that doesn't have very technically gifted player, or a team that is have very good passing chemistry, and you will most likely want to have a more stable formation in that sense. So in this particular scenario, I guess Nam Haitu is probably, or Nam Haitu and De Gea maybe is probably the perfect keeper to play for to play for Royal Academy. And any other keepers like maybe Wanon, who's more adept to the 2-2 formation, then might sometimes face issues playing for a team like Royal Academy. And
Yeah, exactly. They need some very, very traditional players, which is currently they have.
Right. So this is for Royal Academy, who is currently sitting in second position, 1 point behind Gamba Osaka in first place, and 1 point in front of Red Drum in third place. So it looks like a very close competition in the top three as well. So much as the competition in the bottom three, because or for both these sections, the teams are just 1 point apart, and one win could just easily change the position of the teams involved there. So yeah, so we now move on to the final team that we're going to look at is Gamba Osaka in first position. Quite a surprise, actually, considering that all of us didn't really expect Gamba Osaka to go the distance. We were probably either predicting a third or fourth place for Gamba Osaka, but look at where they are now, and you can have Lollipop to just bring us through why Gamba Osaka is having this kind of this level of success here.
Yeah, let's look at Gamba Osaka. I think when we first predicting this, they weren't having the strongest team. They weren't putting out the strongest lineup out there. With the likes of maybe Poi and Rockstar missing most of the matches. But even with those squad players like Tamakin or Hanpen, they generally have a very good chemistry. Like, these players have been playing together for quite a long time now. And did the clip disappear? I think something happened to the clip. Casey?
Sorry?
I think something happened. The clip isn't showing.
Oh, sorry about that. Wait, the clip isn't showing?
It is now.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, the first clip here, you see, if you look at the start of the clip, let's just wait for it to start again here. Tamakin, he back passes straight away to Noel, then screen of Ratha. Just general idea of how trusting they are with each other. And yeah, we can move on to the next clip. This is right. So this is the second game. I think the effect of Musino.
Wait, hold on. I think this is not a clip. Yeah, I just overshot.
Yeah,
let me try to really get the quality up. Sorry, I just for a short moment here. Try to get the options out. This is frustrating, but
yeah. So with the squad players like Hanpen or Tamaki, they're good players, but they're not the most precise player, not the most decisive. But Noah does have Vecino at his disposal, and Vecino, when combining with strong player like Sibo, like they just created goals out of their own here. If you watch the clip from the start, you see that these two very good chemistry, even though they haven't really played together all that much. But yeah, you see Vecino, Sibo stealing out the Ninja, just winning the ball, hide up, counter pressing, easy goal. Yeah. The next one. This one here. Yeah, this one just pointing out the one of the strongest player for sure, Sibo. He's very strong. You've seen this clip before. He wins a lot of 50-50s. And not just that, he's also very skillful flag player. You see in the next clip, he doesn't have his raw power. He can feint and then shoot. Very good player. I think just wait for the clip to load here. But yeah, here this is very good. One of my favorite goals of the season so far. So it's just purely intelligence here. He's just stopping the blue team from shooting. So yeah, if you pause here, yeah, you can see that Josh can't shoot, and Lady isn't aware that Josh can't shoot, so he doesn't come out to get the ball, and Sibo just basically just pushing Josh here, and wait for the support to come. And then he passes. You see here, yep, and it results in a goal. Yeah, and then in the next clip as well, you see that does this a lot. Just faking out here. Josh sent to the nether realms, and yeah, Sivo's gets another goal, and it's like 5-1 or something this game. Yeah, so that's Sivo. But the problem for the other teams is they don't just have Sivo, they have Poi as well. And for the first 2 weeks, I've noticed that Osaka is not a very systemic team. So they don't have the set formation. They look disorganized sometimes. But with Poi in, you can see that it's totally changed. If you see the next clip, here, it's just a long clip, just like a minute of them defending. But if you just notice the way Poi plays, it's the one they're furthest right now. Yeah, they just become a lot organized for some reason. It's just the cement between the stones of Ten Hag puts it. That's like Casemiro. Yeah, basically, yeah. They're just really organized. Brilliant. And this is with Hanfen and Tamakin. Like, they're good players, but not the most technically gifted against one of the strongest teams of the division, Red Rum. So yeah, just keep watching it. It's just really good. And in the next clip, you will see that with the addition of Sibo and Rockstar, they're just brilliant to see. So in this one, in this one, they put out the strongest lineup with Rockstar and Sibo and Poi, Noah, and Poi is playing the DM role. And he does really well, just keeping the ball in the final third, then linking up play. See here, there's no way out for the Crazy Gang here. They're just not good enough to play out here. And then Poi just staying in the right position. The forwards are pressuring, getting the ball back. They got out a little bit and they just play their way back into the final third like this. And this happens for the whole half basically. And they score like 3 goals in that half. So yeah. So their strongest team, they're definitely like I'll say the strongest, the most experienced. So and that's the reason why they're top right now. But let's look at some weaknesses. So their weakness is actually not really a weakness. It's just they try to share their game time with other players, and some of them maybe not the most technically gifted, as you can see at the beginning of the clip. Tamakin, I think, with lag as well, just spamming for way too long there. Then he goes back, and yeah,
It doesn't seem to be anywhere near the ball in that play at all. Just
yeah,
seemed a little
exactly.
bit lost there.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you see in the next clip as well. It's more of the same, really. Yeah, Hanpen should have taken a better touch here, and it would have been like maybe a counter attack opportunity here, or at least stopping Softy getting the ball. Yeah, and then just keep going. Next one. That's the same clip, I think. Yeah, this one. Right, this one. Tamakin just a bit pessimistic here, just moving back, and then yeah, Hanfen again pretty pessimistic and doesn't want to pass back to Tamakin. Yeah, right. Tamakin just backs off instead of pressing. Then Hanfen, who could have passed back, decided not to, and then tried to spam his way through, which is quite risky in my opinion. Yeah.
But it does feel like in this scenario, in general, I think it does feel like Gamba Osaka has a really decent squad depth, right? They are able to field two different teams with two completely different mindset here. So this setup here looks like a very, very defensive and passive one. Probably you might, as a captain, you might decide to even feel this fault, defend a lead because of how probably unwilling, if that's the word to use, unwilling that the team, a player on that team is to start an attack, commit and then help out with the attack and so on.
Yeah, I was struggling to find their weaknesses, to be honest. But yeah, just maybe that they can be better, but they're already really good. So
yeah.
I think this is the last bit.
The weaknesses should be the ping.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's definitely one of the main weakness that they have, because you can see if any teams want to exploit that weakness, it is usually by means of like fast passing, because that's probably the only way you can take advantage of ping there. And
yeah, but then you're up against like Sivo, who looks like he's playing in prime ping.
Exactly.
With like and Rockstar very very tricky player to play against.
And Rockstar, of course, very I would say kind of underappreciated based on the fact just from last season alone, where he hasn't really spent when I thought he was gonna be like a big time player for Manzuka, hasn't spent much time playing for the team then, and now when he's plays on this Nuo's team, he has been actually delivering quite a bit. You see quite a bit of skills, showcasing of skills from Rockstar in this I guess in this game against I think Crazy Gang, was it the one where they had a full squad there? Yeah, that's like in those scenarios where when you have a proper backup, you can actually see Rockstar's attributes, like his individual capability there, and it feels like he's sometimes under the radar because of how little he has been appearing for Gamba Osaka this far. So if they are able to consistently get players like Poi and Poi to turn up, Poi and Rockstar to turn up, I think this is definitely gonna turn out to be one of the hardest team to beat in this division.
And we haven't even talked much about Vecino.
Yeah, exactly. So this was I probably covered this during week 2's I guess week 2's we have like a short review on discussing about Vecino's significance here. But I think is I mean, if the appearance of Rockstar and Poi might actually might actually understate Vecino's importance here, because at that point of time the team was actually lacking creative players and more active players that are constantly pushing up to win the possession back from the opponent there. So having Vecino on at that point was a big and a really good call from Nuo to turn the game around on both games they have played for. So I'm not sure how big an impact he would have if the main roster on the team is consistently turning up nowadays. Do you think he will have the same impact as he had when Poyle and Rockstar are absent?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I guess it might be a bit difficult now for Vecino if key players of Gamba Osaka are turning out. We might be looking at a lack of game time now.
I reckon it still be useful as either as a forward or a DM.
Yeah, so that's all for Gamba Osaka as well. Unless Doug, you have anything to add?
I think the drawbacks other than the pings are the fact that Nuo wants to play everyone. So sometimes Nuo will just play goalkeeper and let their teammates go forward. But in fact, if Nuo can come forward as a striker or other positions, then some games could be easier. But yeah, I agree that they do have a very good squad depth, and as compared to the other D2 teams, the squad depth is not just depth, but it's very I would say rare that you can see so many good players are playing in the same team.
Yeah.
So
The chemistry as well, right? They all play with each other.
yeah. So this is a joy to watch for Gamba Osaka, especially with very. At first, you might find it is quite strange to see a Thailand player into Japanese team. Turns out it worked very well.
I love seeing it, to be honest. Didn't want him to move.
It turns out to be a very well addition to the team.
I think another surprise or something that I did not expect was Nuo to be playing in GK, because Nuo in all the games that I've played with him or watched him play always seemed like a more direct player. Like he seems more suited as a forward, but in all the games that I've played so far, he has been playing as a goalkeeper. Even in games where I speculate that he might sometimes even play forward to chase a lead against, I think in the first week against Red Drum and Royal Academy, he has always kept the faith for his teammate to deliver for him, and he's just content enough to sit behind and go to be the last man or last line of defense for the team. I kind of feel like it is a very selfless commitment from Nuo, because
as a captain.
Yeah, and especially I think both Doug and me know for a fact, because me, Doug, and Nuo has been teammates for last season's AHL, and Nuo was our team's top scorer for last season as well. So you would expect him to try to continue that streak here in this division, but instead he's actually giving more chance to his teammates and trying to provide support from the back now, instead of giving how to put it, putting in the direct effort to score for them. So you could also argue that since Nuo is generally a forward-minded player, that playing as a GK in could actually be advantageous, because it the experience helps him to decide or to determine what kind of behavior, what kind of action that the opposing forward may do. So that might be a portion of Nuo's forward experience coming in clutch for this season. And naturally you can see it's actually he's also currently leading the race for the Golden Glove as well. So
Yep.
this is that's a take that I have because I really didn't expect him to be consistently playing as a goalkeeper here, even when the team is trailing.
I agree that.
And yeah, actually based on what your prior experience of playing against playing with these Japanese players and even Rockstar in the Moke League, do you think what Gamba Osaka has now on display is what they would have when they are in their prime, or could we expect better performance from them in the second half of the season?
As in, like,
You first.
I don't quite understand, like, the question.
Oh, like because these players are probably a few years older than us, 6 years or 7 years at least older than
Right.
us in this game. And Doug, you have played with them in their domestic league in the past as well. So based on
Right.
what you have observed from their league back in the days, do you think they are currently playing at the highest level, or could we expect even higher level from these
I
players
think
when
we
they are
can
playing
expect higher levels
together?
from that. Yeah, I think we can expect higher levels from that. It has not been their best yet, but definitely they are playing at a very, very high level currently. But I think there could be still some better plays, not better plays, but more exquisite plays that we could expect from the team.
Yeah.
But right now they're sitting at the top, so no worry at the moment.
And yeah, at this moment, at the start of the season, when the teams when they are forming their teams, I kind of felt like I had a feeling that I didn't know if Osaka is going to have the same impact as Bon here had on the entire division in the first season. Like Gamba Osaka's first four, especially Nuo, Poi, Siboro, and Rockstar, seems like is definitely D1 caliber in my opinion, and I thought they were gonna offer the challenge that it is the team that every single other teams in the division want to beat, because it's gonna be one of the powerhouses here. And it seems like at the moment they had issues with the key players turning up in the first especially in the first week. But when you see players, the quality players like Poi and Rockstar start turning up more often, they are actually starting to get back the points that they get the points that they actually deserve, because of how good their team on paper is. And it might look like a close race now, with the top three just being a point apart from each other. But if Gamba Osaka has the consistency of getting their best players to play every single week, and I think it could lead to a scenario where the kind of aura that Bon here gives the rest of the league in the first season. So that was my initial thoughts on Gamba Osaka. But, right.
I'm not sure did Poi plays the first season.
Poi didn't play as well, actually. Poi,
Yeah, I think this is a very, very, very drastic change to the lineup, because Poi is a very, very talented player in that team, and
yeah, I think
I think
in the first season, Gamba Osaka, Nuo, Hanpen, Tamakin, and who else was on that team?
MTK.
Alright,
MTK.
MTK, yeah. So, no, I was saying those that were in common with the current team that they have. They had Nuo,
Alright.
they had Shiboru, they had Tamakin, they had Hampen. And other than that, I think all the remaining players are not in the first season. Poi maybe, but Poi didn't really play. So, I think the first season, every team only had 7 players. So, they were forced to play with 5 players essentially, because 2 of the players weren't able to turn up at all throughout the season. I think it was Poi and another player called Gyagya. Yeah, so these 2 players wouldn't play. So they had to, I think they were usually rotating between Tamakin and MTK. And MTK, Hampen, and Tamakin, these 3 players are constantly being rotated, and Nuo and Shibo was tanking, making the most of the commitments for a team. But now I guess the situation is kind of reversed now, because they now have strong players and quality players that we all know that are able to turn up for the league game. So we might be able to see some level of dominance in the second half of the season. And so this leads us to our predictions for this mid-season predictions. So this is on the screen. What you can see now is what we predicted at the very beginning. So let's have a look at let's go to each of us and let's make our own predictions at this stage. What the final table look like? Starting with Lollipop.
The tough one. I still think Red Rum would gonna come first.
So Red Rum first.
Red Rum.
Yeah.
Yep. And Osaka second.
Okay.
Royal Academy third. The team I'm backing to get fourth, actually. Crazy Gang.
Crazy Gang. Okay.
Yep.
It's quite a contrast where you voted you predicted Crazy Gang to finish
I
sixth.
think Panda can make a difference.
Yeah.
And
it's not only Panda actually. It's also players like Killian, Panda.
Killian as well.
Yeah.
Killian, Panda, Muffin, Roy Keane. Those are
right.
And I don't know. I probably forgot someone else. But Maxley. Yeah, Maxley. I don't know what else. Yeah, Zach, exactly.
But to be fair, they do have a pretty solid roster on paper, right? It's just that it hasn't been working the way they wanted.
I think that they would benefit from maybe having clear roles.
Yeah.
Like Muffin, he's playing everywhere right now. He maybe just pass him to like one of the front 2 positions.
Yep.
Yeah, and with Panda as well, I think they can do very well.
Mm-hmm.
I think one win changes everything in the bottom 3. So, and the bottom 3 is gonna be Chanel and Violent Kingdom.
Right. Chanel.
Yep, in that order. Yeah.
Okay. How about Duck?
I will believe Gamba Osaka will continue to win the league, and with second as Red Room and the third Royal Academy. Fourth, I will support Crazy Gang because I do understand that I do believe that they are trying to make more attacking plays with Muffin, so I expect there will be more goals to score against the lower half team, so I expect them to get into the playoffs. And for the fifth, I would suggest Chanel, and the sixth would be Royal Academy, Violent Kingdom, because currently there are no transfers for Violent Kingdom regarding their attack, so I do have a concern on how they are going to get points. So this is my prediction. I think that changes a bit as compared to not a bit, but especially in the first 3 teams. But for the bottom 3 teams, I think I made the same prediction before the season. I'm not sure.
Yep. Right. I think for myself, I'm personally going to go for Gamba Osaka in first place. I think they're set for a very strong finish, given that they can get their players to turn up on time. And to be honest, I have my doubts about Red Drum staying in the top 3 because of how I don't know, because we have already seen how many chances they have squandered in key games, like especially games against like Chanel and Violent Kingdom, where they are definitely expected to win. They have been dropping points, so you would think that they might even lose like all 3 points against the top 3 and allow the bottom 3 teams to join. So at this stage, we can't write any team out just yet. because all of them seem like legitimate dark horses here. Crazy Gang definitely have a very strong roster on paper. It's just that they haven't been able to make things work in their favor so far. But with the addition of Panda now to Crazy Gang and Killian now returning to the game, we could see something change for Crazy Gang. I don't know how far Crazy Gang is going to get. I have faith that Crazy Gang is going to make it for the top 4 actually, but I don't know whether Red Drum will continue to keep that position or even drop to 4th. So
How many points?
Sorry?
How Red Rum is ahead of Crazy Gang by 7 points, and there's only 4 games left.
Yeah, 7 points, correct. So I'm going to maintain that Red Drum might just probably stay in 3rd position. Royal Academy, provided that they can get their main 4 players to turn up every week, they should still be sticking in the 2nd position. And Crazy Gang, similarly, I'm going to think that would be in 4th position. And now it just remains whether Chanel or Violent Kingdom will be ahead. And honestly, I'm starting to see a glimpse of hope for Violent Kingdom. I know that they are one of the teams that are predicted to I predict in the preseason to implode under Liam. Well, he left after the first week, so I thought Violent Kingdom would be, it's probably the end of the season for them. But they didn't. They showed that they actually could still play without Liam and still able to implement a proper defensive system. But at the same, this is a very difficult choice to make because Chanel now they're starting to see the value of having players like Jotaro, Maguire, and Sis or Optimus playing together at the same time, and they have seen themselves win important games or even draw against stronger teams like Red Drum and as well as some Crazy Gang. So this is a tough call, but I would think maybe I want to give Violent Kingdom the benefit of doubt that Carl is going to be the difference maker in their team, and they will defend like a rock and have Carl trying to create these clutch moments for Violent Kingdom to steal some 3 points in some key games here and there. So this is my final prediction. I think Chanel might finish last unless they have a good reply to their current deficiency in the defense, especially because of players like Barbie and who's the other player there, and maybe even Party if he's playing as a forward. So yeah, this is my prediction so far. I guess it looks pretty similar to our predictions. Look pretty much very similar. I guess it's just the top 3 is definitely still sticking to the top 3, and the bottom 3
but the order is different.
We have consensus that Crazy Gang is going to finish 4th, but it's up to Crazy Gang to decide whether they can live up to our expectations or predictions here, and also up to Chanel and Violent Kingdom to continue to surprise us basically, whether they can actually break free of the bottom 4 and even maybe surprise us by making in the top 3. I think that's what everyone wants to see, right? A season where everything goes against what we predicted. So right, this is the predictions that we have, and now for the final section, let's make our predictions for the final recipient for Golden Glove, Golden Boot, and Golden Chavi. Starting
Right.
with
I think Golden Goal is very unanimous. I would go for Nuo.
sorry?
I'm not sure. I think Golden Goal for me would be definitely Nuo's in Nuo's pocket.
Wait, I just realized this thing is I didn't do this properly. Hold on, give me a moment. Let me just reformat this. Hold on, give me a moment. Just a short while to adjust. should be fine. It looks a little bit ugly on stream, but I don't really care at this point. Right. So you're saying for your predictions, Golden Glove is gonna be Noah,
Yeah.
and Golden Boot. Who are you rooting for?
I am looking for Rolly to get it.
And
Let's see what happens.
top assist. So top assist. As we've
Says
seen
I would root for Seabottle.
Shibata. Okay, so this is what it looks like at the top of the table now. Actually, the current leading Golden Glove, Golden Boot, and Golden Chavi.
I think there won't be much changes from my perspective.
How about Lollipop?
Well, it's hard to look past Newell, but I'll go with a gangster pick. Yeah, I'll pick Mitsuki.
Oh, Mitsuki. Oh, that's a surprise pick.
Yeah, just something different. But if you remember last week, Violent Kingdom kept 1.5 clean sheets in 1 week.
All right.
So yeah, he's definitely a dark horse here. Golden Boot. It's a toss up between Rolly and Softy, but I think Softy would get it because he's more selfish. But assist. Yeah, it's just gotta be Seaball.
Seaball, yeah. Okay.
Hoovie's third, but he plays primarily as DM this season, so I think it's gotta be Seaball. Yeah.
I feel like Golden Glove is still going to be Noel, considering that he's probably going to be continue playing as a keeper for the rest of the season. And wait, let me have a quick look at the stats again. Golden Boot, the top scorer. I'm actually feeling a bit on Seaball here actually, because this is back to my point on the problem with let's say if every team starts to have a better chemistry with each other and defend more tightly and make less defensive mistake. I'm not sure if Softy and Rata have the capability to keep up with the same output they have in the first half of the season. So with that said, I'm actually going to go for Sibo for top Golden Boot here, because if assuming that Gamba Osaka can consistently bring up the best players for their games, I think Sibo has a good chance. And Sibo so far has turned up for every single game for Gamba Osaka, so to me I feel like he's a very strong contender for Golden Boot. And Rolly and Softy definitely have to buck up if they don't want to fall behind the goals. And as for Golden top playmaker, this is a tough one because there's it's so tight, but I'm gonna guess it could be Hoovie. I'm gonna guess Hoovie's gonna be the eventual winner for the top playmaker. And yeah, so this is all what we have for final mid-season predictions. And
can we change the name Golden Chavi? I mean, Chavi is the manager now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've been very conflicted over this because I have no idea what to change it to. Top playmaker always sounds so weird. It's like if
Golden De Bruyne.
Top playmaker. It's just odd. Yeah, so I think for now we'll keep it this way, but well, unless you have better suggestions to give.
Golden KDB.
So what happens in the future when he retires and becomes a manager? It's just going to be the same cycle, right? Yeah, these are final predictions for the eventual individual awards. So we're just going to look forward to what we have. It has been a very long stream actually. We streamed for almost 2.5 hours talking about the teams.
Yeah, almost like a match day.
But so far we can all agree that this season so far in Division 2 has been really, really exciting. There have been it's not like a one-way street where the powerhouses keeps winning and the underdogs kept losing and stuff. We always have seen surprising results, and let's see what the remaining 4 rounds or 2 weeks of league can bring us. And yeah, there we have it. And thanks for Duck and Lollipop to be with me for the entirety of this stream. And it's not yes, they have put in quite a bit of effort to prepare all of these analysis to have it. So you should the viewers here should probably give them the due credits as well. And yeah, that's all we have, and we can look forward to the next game week happening this this Sunday. Yeah, today's Friday, right? So tomorrow gonna mark the 4th day of the 2-year anniversary. You can look forward to a brand new YouTube series that I'm going to start, which is the How to Be for Hexball series, and let's see what players going to be on the show tomorrow. So there we have it. Thanks for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you again.
See y'all.
Okay,
Yeah.
bye-bye.
Bye.